Hey, today's video is going to be on this Honda 185S. Used to be a police bike. And Dino got these for me. And this was a long time ago. And I've always wanted to just kind of make it back to a police bike, but it'd probably be worth more to restore it now to original 185S. But yeah, that was I started cleaning out one of the trailers back there. Back in there, I go, time to go. So yeah, today's video is going to be on that Honda 185S. Am I in frame now? Did I cut my head off? So you can see where they ground that off, where it actually said police. Paint's starting to peel. There was all kinds of wiring hanging out when I did get the bike. They must have had a radio unit hooked up to it. I had to take all that off because all that wiring was everywhere. It was back here. There must have been lights on it and stuff like that, but I cut all the wiring off that wasn't for the bike itself. So, and you can see the pipes rusted. The back tire's dry rotted. The front tire doesn't hold any air. I tried putting air in it. It's like pushing a 57 Cadillac with 4 flat tires from that backyard. I was out of breath. It's got its light rust, a little more light rust on it than when I got it. It was in better shape. But since the raccoons got into that shed, yeah, buddy. So, yeah. It's going to need a little work. I don't know what was wrong with this thing. Never messed around with it. But look inside this gas tank. Even though I hear gas flushing around in there, that tank looks like brand new inside. Isn't that amazing? Now, Dino, he had one himself. He fixed his right away, and he rode it around for a long time. I think he took the jug off, and he made it a 200cc. Maybe if I can get Dino over here, we could talk about that. But, timeline. And I got to find where I hid the key. It's probably somewhere in my box of keys. So let's look for that key, and let's get into this video and see what is wrong with this thing. Hey, is he going to get stuck in a tree? We got on the lift. It's a little drier than it was. But, and you know, I was looking at the sticker. It wasn't Cleveland Metro Parks. It was Cleveland Police. That's a Cleveland Police sticker that was on there. And that's, see, that's the sticker right here. Yep, that's what it looked like. Of course, they ground that off, police, because they don't want you driving around. And this thing has been in my archives for a long time. I'm going to have to fix that inner tube. It is broke on the front tire. Brakes are kind of locked up from sitting for a long time, so we're going to take them apart. We're going to check the spark here in a minute. I found that cover, that 185S cover. That cover was missing. So I found this one at Mid-Ohio a long time ago. And it fits. It does have compression. Does turn over. Like that. Has a compression release thing on the back. That's kind of cool. Of course, I see some wiring out here. The muffler's rotted, but hey, you know, I can take a can and maybe put it around that for a temporary fix for now until we find another exhaust, which probably really hard to find. Of course, you can see police. There's probably for a flashlight, check for spark. Now you see you need a big old fat screwdriver to take this off. Oh, that looks nice and clean. A little oily in there. But it should be a 14 millimeter. Because I'm going to use my electric start. There it is, 14 millimeter. Let's put the Terrell spark tester on there. Apparently, so we had spark, but wire had come off the battery. So we don't need a battery for spark, so that's good. So we got spark. What do you guys think? A little bit of go-go juice? I think so. Let's see you show fire. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the seat off, and I'll show you why. Let me get the bolt off it. I think it's a 12. Yep, it is a 12. Now, well, one, there wasn't a hole in there when I parked this thing, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Jerry set up hotel in here. And, in fact, let me do a cutaway here. See these little guys in that guys in that little bucket there? Well, that's who I found in there. No. I didn't put them out of their misery. I let them go in the woods. They're happy and running around. So anyway, look, guys. Take a look here of what they did. I had to pull this big old nastiness out of there, but the air cleaner, I got a feeling it's going to be packed, and I don't want to be sucking in all that stuff. So anyway, for the back of that seat, 12 millimeter, you're going to need a 10 millimeter in order to pull this tank off. Getting close to Halloween now. Whoa! Look at the inside of that gas tank. You guys are going to be shocked at this one. Yes, side cutters. Look at the inside of that tank. You can eat off the inside of that tank. Ew. It is clean. No rust in there whatsoever. Well, might be a couple little speckets, but that's amazing. That tank is nice. I don't have to clean a tank. Wow. Love it. You know, for the gas being as old as it is, it's not that bad smelling either. So,
probably real gas.
Yeah, it was probably before they went to it is before they went to the ethanol stuff. So this cover here, you got 3, and you have to use the JIS. All right. Ooh, that's a bad sign. That means it's rusty. Oh, yeah. Old Jerry there. Good thing I didn't start that thing up, huh? Dinner. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to clean all that out. And I'm going to make dinner real quick. Because Camera Girl, she got that hungry look on her face. Because I'm hungry.
For that?
Yeah, I got hungry looking at that. So. But anyway, I'm going to get this all cleaned up here. And we'll spray some go-go juice in there. And see if it's going to fire. Well, we got it cleaned out as best I can. Well, I didn't wipe it out or nothing. I'm going to let it dry a little bit more. But it was bad. It was really bad. There was some walnuts in there. And there was even a dried out bumblebee in there. This filter is definitely garbage. It's going in the trash. It's all over the floor. I'm going to have to sweep all that up. But now, at least we can squirt some chemical juice into it and see if we get some fire. See if it would turn over. Right, let's see now if we can get this thing to fart. Does have good compression. All right. Woo! Yeah! Let's try that again. We know it's going to fart. Probably the next step in this thing would probably, I'm going to have to clean that carburetor out. There's no doubt that carburetor is probably shot. And it doesn't look like it's a very good, easy way to get off. But when I was kicking that thing over with the kickstart on the other side, I saw it poofing out along that rubber grommet in the aluminum block. So kind of think that gasket's shot. But let's get that carburetor cleaned out first. I'll get it off, which is 210 millimeters. And a whole lot of fussing around. So let's do that. We'll get that off, and I'll show you that when it's done. Well, I'm figuring out that I got the bolts off here. So the best thing to do is to use a 10 millimeter to get this air cleaner off. I don't think there's another one back over here unless there's one behind it. But it's normally 10 millimeter to get this off. I'm going to take the air box completely out anyhow to get the carburetor off. Plus you got this cable here, your choke cable, which of course it runs up here and down. You want to get that off. And your slide. So I'm just going to take this off. I want to wash this out anyhow. So we're going to do that. That other bolt is right there on top. So I got this one off, and then this one right here. So I have the air cleaner out just in case, if you guys, I don't know if you know, I use Honda 185Ss. Maybe some of them was too, but there is a grease fitting for your rear there. So I'm going to remove that, clean it, or replace that. I'm going to replace this top part here because that's pretty rusty. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace it, grease it real good. Oh, and by the way, remember when I said that I saw puffs of smoke? Let me go to the other side. Little puffs of white stuff. Well, this is why. It had completely come apart. Yeah. So I'm going to have to order a new one of those or see if I got one somewhere. Probably got one up there in the archives, but got to check. Of course, you guys know I like to take these things apart live on camera to see what they look like inside, like you've never been taken apart before. That's where it was Liz. Now we got it loose. Let's give it a few taps. Well, it was dry, but it still needs cleaning. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oops. Yeah, not too bad. That'll clean up pretty good. So I'll go ahead and take it apart. We'll clean up this carb and we'll get it back on. And then I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see if I got one of these up in the archives. I got a little ahead of myself. I started putting them together. I am sorry. I got it all nice and clean. I started putting all this back on. But of course, you don't want to watch me do all that. But it turned out really nice. The carburetor looks pretty good on the inside. It only fits so far on my Sonic cleaner. It didn't fit all the way up. So, and I just did the bottom half. All right, we're going to finish putting this together. And I'm also going to mount it on the bike. And then we'll see if it's going to run smoothly. Yeah, buddy. Now I'm going to go ahead and mount this carburetor. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I couldn't find one at the moment, so I just siliconed that one all back together, cleaned it up real well, and just siliconed it. Let's see if it holds for a little bit. I'm going to order a new one of those, get that over with. Brand new. All right, let's look some gas to it. Had a little bit of spillage on fuel. It's dripping just a little bit out of the carburetor. Not super bad. Not good either. Hopefully I didn't go low on the motor. Yeah, that one would be good. All right. Let's see. Ready? First time. Well, besides when we've made it fart. Ooh, my. Well, I'm going to have to fix that. Yeah, I kind of forgot oil shoots out of there when you started up. So once I start it, I'm going to have to put that cover back on. Too much choke, huh? Sounding pretty good there, guys. I'm going to fix these front brakes. I'm going to check the back brakes. Maybe I'll do a wheelie on this one. Yeah. All right, bud. Turn the gas off. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be leaking now. Because this is frozen. We're going to take this off and just replace for now. I'm just going to replace the rim. I have another rim and tire. And I'm just going to switch it out like a spare tire. And then fix this up a little bit later because it needs an inner tube. One of the spokes are missing. So I'm going to fix that up later. Oh, by the way, I used a jack in the center and strapped the bike down so it doesn't fall over, of course. Now on this, I'm gonna the pads fell right off. See that? Pads gone. Where'd it go? Oh, see, pads are gone. So I'm gonna change these pads out, and don't forget you have a speedometer gear in there. Now what I want to show you here is your speedometer gear right there. See that? It sits right here. Let me show you. Let me get it out of here, which if you hit it hard enough, it'll pop right out. It'll look like this if you're wondering, what is this? What came out of there? Anyway, it goes on in your little slots. See that? That's where it goes. There's 2 slots. Well, there's 4, but you want to make sure you don't put it in between because it'll smush those, bend them. So all you got to do is put that back in, make sure it's flush all the way down. And then when you put it back on, it goes in between here or over here, like a cross. That'd be pretty important to show you on that. And by the way, I'm wearing Halloween attire because Halloween is right around the corner. Yeah. And, in fact, I'm going to go spend a little time over there with Terrell. Coming weekend, see what goes on. Just to say hi. Go hang out. All right. Make sure we get that on the right spot. Get that in the right groove. Get in the groove. And my jack has gone down a bit. I'm going to have to jack that up just a hair. Well, jack didn't go down. Tire was flat when I jacked it up. It was enough off the ground at that point. So, spacer. Don't forget that. On the other. Goes on the right side. And if this is greased up, make sure you don't have any grime on it. And then you're all set to go back together again. A little rusty. There we go. Okay, now we'll put that nut on. We're going to go ahead and put the brakes back on. Get that established. We're going to get that back screwed on. Yeah, that jack goes in the trash. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's clicking down. That's dangerous. Jacks like that, they need to get thrown away. That can hurt somebody or kill somebody. They got to go. Oh yeah, and when I do throw away an old jack, I don't throw away whole. I cut it in half. I cut something off so you make sure you don't use it again because I don't want no one to get hurt on that thing. Got to go. I remember I showed you guys earlier on these rear forks that I wanted to do this grease fitting. Yeah, before I put that air cleaner back in. Yeah, we're going to do that. Yep. So we can grease this up. And it's a 10 millimeter. Kind of a fun one to get to. Not awful bad, but it's still a fun one to get to. A little time consuming, but it's never been greased. And there it is. Well, it looked kind of rough, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a brand new one on it. I got a brand spanking new. Give that a little bit of a snug. Snug like a bug in the rug. All right, fellas, I got it nice and greased. Yeah, my grease gun's leaking a little bit. Time to put a new tip on that grease gun. That rubber's probably pretty wore out. So let's put this air cleaner back in. Ta-da! There it is, guys. In its full glory, like it used to be. Kinda. Of course, it's just paper. I printed that out, stuck it on. This is real. It's actually brass. This is real. Yeah, we're official, including the light. So, let's give this thing a start and see if she's going to ride around. We're going to go patrolling. We're going to be looking for the bad boys, bad boys. What you going to do? Got to turn the key on first. And the fuel. Sounds good, boys. Now, she ain't much clutch in this thing either. It's very, very low. Ooh, yeah. Bad boys, where you all at? I'm coming to get you. This thing's actually right. Pretty nice. This is totally awesome. Come on, Bucky Stewart. Do it, come on. Reach like you're so whoa. Shut up, that one. darn it. The clutch is too far gone. But I like it. Maybe I'll put some new clutches in this bad boy. We'll get this thing fired up. We'll get some bad boys. Oof. Yeah. That was fun. I tell you what, guys, this seat, oof, that's like a sheet of ice. I don't know why they put this seat cover on it. And I don't know if that's, it says Honda. But man, you could slide right off that thing. If it wasn't for this jerry hole, I would have just slipped right off at some of these wheelies, but the clutch is really bad, real bad. It's like right there. So, and it's slipping really bad. Man, I almost did some good wheelies. That felt good. I'm going to put a new clutch system in this thing. Going to fix this thing up a bit more. I think so. What color should I go with this, guys? Let me know comments. I'm not going to leave it, please. I'm going to make it back to Honda again. So, whatever you think. Let me know what color you think. Anyway, hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're on there too. If you want a message to say, hey, Buckets, what's up? Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for coming to Buckets Garage. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And I think we're going on a little trip here to go visit somebody. Shh. Could be a surprise. You guys take care. We'll see you soon. And thank you again. Have a great rest of your weekend.